I am beyond excited right now to make this video. This is going to be a full in-depth tour of my new 1161 Lance truck camper. I'm going to go as in-depth as possible. If you guys want to see certain parts, feel free to skip through it. But guys, I have so many videos I cannot wait to make on this, just why I'm doing this truck camper life. There's just so many things. So also comment down below if you guys have videos that you want to see of it. Because I'm gonna love just every single video that I can make about this thing. This is honestly, in terms of YouTube videos, traveling videos, truck camper videos are my favorite, and that's what inspired me to get it. And there's a lot of other logistical reasons and things that I'm just super excited for, just to have the freedom of being able to go wherever I want to. But yeah, let's hop right into it. First things first, when you walk in, right here I've got my shoes down here, I've got little fire extinguisher, got my sweatshirt hanging, umbrella, little trash bag, reverse osmosis filter, double sink right here. You can use either one. I normally use one side for cleaning, one side for the rest of it, just washing. Right here is a little flap. Basically, it allows you to see through onto the outside. And this right here is also a bug screen, so it doubles. It's basically two doors. You can have the full door just like this, maximum security. When you're driving, it'll be like this, but if you want to let some fresh air in, then you could just keep the bug screen closed and then the actual normal door open. Up here, I've got some storage. I've got things like first aid kit. These are dryer wool balls. I've got a solar fan hat. I've got, like a water bottle case. I also have a fanny pack to the right, piggy bank to the left, right over here. And then over here is where I keep things stashed that I need to get a quick grab of. So I've got a little pocket knife. I've got my keys, I've got pepper spray right there, and then up here I have a lot of mechanical things, so things like lights, wrenches, tape measure, different tools, drill. I try and have everything to be USB-C for charging. Obviously can't do it for everything, but even the vacuum cleaner, drill, all these things USB-C. A little scooter lock. I've got like a propane and different types of gas detector there, more tools, different screwdrivers, and a lot of different tools in this thing, along with like screws and stuff like that. Also up here is a switch that you need to turn on to make the slide out work. And the slide out, not to show too much too early on, but this allows this whole part, this whole compartment, everything to move left. And then it also gives you a lot more floor room right down there. I'll get to that in a little bit. But that gives you the ability to switch this, on or off, because you don't want anyone just to touch it and then it accidentally move. So you have to first do that. Down here, we've got a couple charging ports from a cigarette port lighter. So right now I've got one for USB-C and then one for lightning. And that lightning port is charging my AirPods right there. I also have a portable charger. And I've got an alarm clock on the opposite side of the camper right here so that I have to get out of bed. Over here, a little window, and something that I love, that I insanely love actually, is all of these little windows, except for the kitchen one, have this mechanism where you can go up like that to have it be a little bit more light, and then you can go fully. So if you want to basically peer out a little bit, you could just do this, but if you don't want anyone seeing in or want it to be completely dark, boom, you've got another layer. So that's with all of these. This right here, this little rod, is to have the outdoor awning open. You basically hook it in and twist it. And then we've got a bunch of different control things right here, like an interior light, and then a bunch of exterior lights as well. Right down here, I use it as a compartment for my gallon jugs, and then sometimes I'll have my two smaller water bottles to the side there. They're very nice and secure there with these little things right there for while I'm driving. And then I'm going super fast because I'm just so passionate. There's so many things I can go over, but on to the next thing we have down here, which this is just some clothes. So I've got socks and underwear in there. Over in here, I've got personal care products, clippers, toothpaste, that sort of thing. In here is ones that I use less often. I've got a little water sprayer, just little products like that. Typical appliances. And then at the bottom, far bottom, I've got all my different hats, some sunglasses, some watches, simple stuff like that. Then we go up, and this is one of my cabinets for clothes, so I use it for all of my shirts in this one. And then sometimes I'll put like pajamas in this little extra space. But I do have a lot of extra room, so maybe I'll convert it to something. I don't really have that many shirts, but it also gives you the ability to hang things up right there. Then moving on to the other cabinet, we've got this for all of my shorts, pants in the back, long shirts I'm hanging, belts, and then I also have a towel right there. We've got different labels as well. This just comes stocked with it to let you know, like for the dinette, you can turn it into a bed. Different weight things that come stock, just so you know, like the model and sort of, what truck you need, because for me that would have been useful. I've got the wrong truck. Then we've got a little tour into the bathroom, but first there's a huge nice mirror right there. That's me. But so when we walk in here, there's like a little locking mechanism, shuts like that. Once you open it up, boom. On the other side of the door, got a little towel. You can hang a bunch of different things from these little racks. Then what I use this for, number one, you've got toilet. I'm hanging some shower bags up here, like if I shower in public areas. You've got a vent here with a fan to let for extra airflow. This is a skylight, so this just allows for extra natural light to be in the bathroom. That way you don't always need to use this above light. Shower curtain little like holder thing, fastener. And then I use this actually as a mop, even though it's sort of like an ice cleaner for your windshield when it snows. I use it as a mop sometimes. I've got my slides in there, little trash bin, and then laundry, because truth be told, I'm not going to be using this shower too much. It's more so there if I really need it, but most of the time I'm going to be trying to utilize, public areas like the gym, stuff like that. Just, save on water. And I'll have like more space, and to make sure that I am accountable and get to the gym, because to shower I need to go to the gym. Then over here you've got a sink, everything, all faucets work. And down here you've got a little toilet paper holder, so you spin that there, boom, toilet paper. And then some more storage. I've got like some zinc oxide for sunscreen, little essential oil things down in there. And then this is also like a scent absorber, and I have some essential oils down there. The mirror also, this is a little holder as well, so you could put different things in there. And I put a little shower filter on the shower. The cool thing about all the camper showers, or most of them, is they have this little switch, so you don't need to turn off the pressure. It'll basically allow you to save some of the water, because you can just shut it off temporarily and then start it back up again with just the flip of a switch. And this is considered a dry bath because it does have this little division between the actual shower and the rest of the bathroom. That being said, everything in here is pretty much waterproof, so you're good if some water leaks down. And for the toilet, you basically just pull that, and water goes through and it empties into the black tank, which I think on this is maybe like 18 gallons, and it holds about, I think, 36 gallons fresh water and maybe like 25 gallons gray water. Not to nerd out about all of those details, but basically that segues into this. So gray water number one is for your sink and all your sinks, and then also your shower. And then your black water tank is going to be things like basically just your toilet. Fresh water is the water that's coming from your sink and really any sort of appliance like that. Right here, I've got a reverse osmosis water filter. This is over the countertop, which makes it really, really easy to transport, but it's very secure right there because of its weight, and then it has a really strong grip, so it actually doesn't move while I'm driving. Then I've got a little hand soap right there, trash bag there, and right here you've got, little blinds, and all of these windows open as well. They open by sliding, so, you can use that and then slide the window over. Got different outlets. As I said, this is a little dual sink. You've got this area right here, sponge and some stainless steel scrubber sort of thing. And then I've got my oven. So this is a 3-burner stove with the oven underneath. I've got some towels hanging there. Everything works perfect though. Made sure before I got it that all appliances work good from the dealership. And then I've got paper towel holder. I've got some soap in a bottle, water there. Nice little essential oil spray back there, whiteboard that I can always see from a view, and then a little wooden cutting board right behind that right there, as well as some seasoning. So I have Dano's original seasoning, I've got some sea salt, black pepper, and then some nice raw honey right there. And then I've got, towels, and up here into this compartment, I'm storing a lot of my kitchen stuff. So I have compostable, non-toxic plates right there if I ever don't feel like doing the dishes. I have normal stainless steel, little whatever they're called. I'm blanking on the name. Spoons, knives, forks, all that stuff. Sponge, different cleaners right there, and then like a natural saran wrap. I've got little oven mitts, more towels, cast iron pan. Up here, I've got some other things, sardines. What is this other thing called? Colostrum powder. But yeah, that's for the storage up there. And all around here, we've got a bunch of lights, just like under here as well. You've got lights all around, but there is also a decent amount of natural light that can come through here, which is another benefit that I love about this. Now moving on here, I'm actually going to go into full frame so you can see me touring it as well. So right here you have another control panel. So you've got like hood fan right here while you're cooking. You've got the light. You can turn it on and off your generator, water heater, water pump, and then, you know, like a little monitor to see where your battery's at, gray tank, all those different tanks, and then like a battery reader for your generator to see how many hours it's been running. I've also got little temperature readers right there, a camera if I'm ever just on the go trying to film something in here, microwave, and then some more storage up here. I use this for a lot of like little electronic things such as wires, cables, batteries, little like plugs, stuff like that. And you know, it's a nice little extra room for storage. Then over here we've got the fridge and freezer. So number one in the freezer right now, I've got some bear meat. I've also got some beef tallow fries, so just potatoes, beef tallow, and salt. I've got these organ and beef meatballs. So there's also like heart and liver in there. Super stoked to try that out. And then in the fridge, not too stocked right now, but I've got some really good quality milk. I've got this as like a scent absorber. I've got some pure jam, watermelon in there, beef tallow, all really nice things. And then I'm gonna move you guys again. And in this little compartment, I've got like my only polyester stuff, so like little vests there, different sorts of pants. Like if I were to go, you know, on like a mountain trail, I had to get some for Switzerland. So that's just extra stuff to separate it from my actual wardrobe, because my actual wardrobe is just cotton and wool. This, like I said, it's a whole slide out. So this whole entire thing basically pushes out here. It gives you access to the entire floor space down here, and then it also just basically moves the booth, so you just have more standing room. But what I have for the setup right here, I've got my new guitar that I just bought, trying to learn that. I've got the, you know, Dinette table itself. And another thing that I really love is that this table is the perfect amount to be a standing desk, because right here when I'm standing on this little rug, super comfy. Of course I can sit in the booth, but I can have a nice view also if I'm parked out in front of like a cool national park or beach or whatever. Then over here I've got some pillows lined up, and like I said, this table can actually move down to be a bed, and then you basically just move these cushions towards the middle, and you've got, it's about like a twin XL size. Under here, I've got some extra storage, always a lot of storage. I've got a security camera, I've got a couple iPads, external monitor, different wires, Meta Ray-Bans, cameras, just cool stuff like that, little gadgets and gizmos. My mic set is also right there. And then up here, this is really cool. So this furnace runs off of propane and some electricity, and you can set it to whatever temp that you want, and then throughout the day, if you go like below that temp, it'll heat you back up. Up here, this is an FM radio transmitter that allows me to use Bluetooth in all of the speakers. There's about 6 speakers in here, I think 6 exactly. And it allows me to play Bluetooth songs instead of just radio. And I also use it for charging cables. So I've got a couple USB-C and then whatever the other one is called, I forget what it is. You've got more plugs as well, normal house plugs. Now I will say something to remember is truck campers, they don't by default have these work unless you're either hooked up to shore power, or if you're running like your inverter, or if you just add a ton more like solar power or battery power. For me though, what I can do is I can run this inverter under the sink, and this allows me to use a full 120 volts instead of just 12. So this is the inverter right there. It's 2000 watts, and that'll allow me to use you know, like fast charging. And then I'm storing some paper towels down here. It's normal plumbing as well. And then down here is a lot of cleaning stuff. So I've got like my trash bags, I've got cast iron cleaning agent, dish soap, pest control solution, bug zappers, black tank, gray tank cleaners, white distilled vinegar, bug spray, and laundry detergent as well. Then moving down onto this storage, I'll actually pop on one of the lights over here just for more visibility. There's a couple that I can do actually. Let's see here. So down here, I've got a couple of my mini water bottles stored. I've got some little notebooks, red light therapy panels. I've got a backup security camera and solar panels over there, just little small panels, and like some workout equipment over there as well as a scale. Under here too, I'm just keeping a couple common things like my bands that I can use for working out. This is really nice because you can do a ton of different exercise just with these resistance bands. Just these two bands alone are actually 90 pounds of resistance, so super good weight, and I can always add more if I want. These windows, it's the same mechanism where you can basically slide it up or down for more or less visibility from the outside. And then these windows, basically they actually spin. You twist them to open them, and then they open up just like that, so that rain can't really get in. And then when you do the slide out, these windows basically will allow for just more light. Floor here, I've got my new G2 Max 9-bot electric scooter that I'll be using for sales. I've got my rug right there. Oh, by the way, I also use a scooter just for getting around, normal places, and it's also super fun. It's really fun to ride that thing. Propane, carbon monoxide detector down there. Different little circuit board for, fuse breakers, things like that. Little escape hatch that you can also use to do like some mechanical work, but I think of it as like a little escape hatch to the outside. And then, my favorite, or not my favorite, everything is my favorite, but I love this storage thing. This is actually so sick to me. All of my little things like water bottle cleaners, knives, spoons, stuff like that on the top. Different sorts of cups, extra salt in there, mugs, bowls. I've also got little glass containers and plates down there. I just love this setup. It saves so much on storage, and it just slides right in like that, super secure while driving. And now for the bed part. So right down here, I actually just added this little pillow so that my feet can't hit like the little hard part if I'm like scooched up. But this is a full-size queen, so my feet, if I'm like all the way up there, it's sort of like barely, like I have like a little bit of room, but when you're moving throughout the night, little like footrest pretty much. And then all the sheets here, it's organic cotton, so I just upgraded everything. This is silver infused cotton right here, organic, and then this is just normal organic cotton for like a small duvet cover. My duvet insert didn't come in time, but that's all right. Right here is how you can actually run the little thing that I was talking about with the speakers. So by default, it's going to be radio, but I have that FM transmitter set so that I can play any Bluetooth song. Right here, it's like a little night light. So you flip that, and then that back light comes on. That's my little owl guy right there sitting next to the light. And you've got two little reading lights there as well. Then in here, you've got a little 12-volt control panel if you want to turn off all the power from this side. But when you open it up, you've got a TV that slides out. It can be on a swivel so you can view it in bed, or you can view it from, the actual inside area right there. I've got like folder just of some documentations and papers, and then under here I just have a little bit of storage, so like pens, pencils, sticky notes, camera, some battery banks, that sort of thing. The TV I probably won't use that much, but it's just a good thing to have, and I have a Roku set up with it as well. That allows you to run off of, just personal hotspot. And I have this hole running through just as a way to basically close this while driving and still get the functionality of this little power bank. So I can basically charge, USB-C, it's a retractable cable. I've got my little alarm clock that's also a radio, and it has like a lot of cool features like, different sounds and stuff that you can play. Little desk area if I want to do some work in bed on the laptop. My Bible. I've got blue light blocking glasses, different hand grip exercise things if I'm just sitting in bed and want to be making some progress while I'm on the laptop. I can like strengthen my grip, chapstick, red light little thing right there. And then same thing with these windows. Number one, you can push them up there, and then the same little twisting mechanism. I also added a little trash bag right there. And then under here is so there's a little tornado warning, so I had to stop it. My mom just let me know. Should probably come inside soon. But under here I've got a bag of just different things like extras for lights in the camper, as well as like direction manuals for all the appliances. Up here is another little vent for if I have the furnace on, and they have a lot of those all throughout the camper, you know, down below, all throughout here. And then for the actual bed, I've got a little towel over this because the actual headrest thing is like polyester, and I'm trying to have everything converted away from polyester. But that organic cotton towel is over it if I just want to sit up in bed. And then I've got a silk pillowcase, which is an absolute hack, just for, you know, better skin. Up here, the same thing happens where you can fold this up, and so it allows you to actually see the stars at night if you want, or it could just let more light in. And then I've got, you know, little lights here, as I mentioned. And up here, this is another thing that I really, really love. If I could get a good view, you can also see the stars from this. So this is really cool. It also allows for ventilation, but for me, you know, keeps the bugs out and allows you to see, you know, the sky at night. As I said, there's possibility of a tornado. I don't really think it'll happen, but it has been windy all day. You can sort of see the clouds there. Then over here, so this is different storage stuff. In the down area right here, I've got like just other bed things like mouth tape. And in here I also keep, you know, some weapons. We won't say too much, but you know, just for some good things in case you need it, and just like some extra storage. And then in here I've got some more storage stuff as well. So winter jacket down there, different like this is the same leave-in conditioner or like curl cream that I use, some watches in there, some tape, business cards, and then down here is some other clothes, more fancy stuff like polos, and then actually some pajamas and like white tank tops right there. Both windows are the exact same, you know, they have that same mechanism with the sliding up window, and then 12-volt fan right over here. Another cool thing is this little screen. Let's say that there's like lights on in this room. You have like a little privacy screen that you can move this all across there to cover that out. And then in here, I just use it for some more storage. I've got like a little fake quiet basketball that actually works really well on the floors here. Toilet paper, a little seat, different sorts of like a reflector for the windows. Different things like that, like backpack, just extra storage. Also forgot to include this, but there's extra stuff down here under this step. You can lift it up, and it's different stuff for like wiring, for like winterizing the camper, for also like your inverter, making all the outlets work, different settings like that. I almost forgot about this. I also have an AC right there, and this little fan that just allows for more ventilation, but the AC works very good, the fan works very good. That helps an actual ton if it's ever like hot outside. And yeah, that's it for the interior. I know that I went super fast. I did it on purpose because there is so much that I want to go into detail with. And then also for the outside, because it's a tornado warning right now, I might film that at a different day. So let me know if you guys want to see that, if you guys want to see something just as in-depth as this on the outside, or if you want me to do just more of like a sort of broad overview. But thank you for joining me today. Super excited, like I said. Drop down in the comments below if you guys want to see any certain types of videos or topics of me being in this truck camper. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay blessed. Peace.